Now, the Sabo, we're talking about a very serious subject, which is cystic fibrosis. We have Katrina on the line. She's from the Cystic Fibrosis Association down there in Newcastle. How are you, Katrina?
Good, thanks, John. How are you?
Oh, we definitely got you on the line. I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, great. Great day down here.
Oh, hey, good surf down there in Newcastle.
Yeah, beautiful. It's very nice and sunny and very warm today. Lovely with spring weather.
Now, Katrina, can you tell me a bit, because we're learning here on radio as we go, and we're talking about Cass's story down there in Newcastle as well. She's a 28-year-old woman who is not doing that well, and can you tell us a bit about that, not going into too much personal detail, but can you tell us about that story?
Yeah, Cassie is 28 and she has cystic fibrosis. And we have the Newcastle Cystic Fibrosis Foundation has just started granting wishes for CF patients. And we received a letter from Cassie's mum, Wendy, asking if we could see if we could have this wish achieved for Cassie. And her wish was to Metallica, because it is her favourite band.
Yeah.
So we've gone about putting everything out there, trying to have this happen for her. Metallica is coming to Sydney in October. So we needed to really get something going for cystic fibrosis adults, because there's nothing really out there for grant a wish for CF patients.
So why, and also, why is that? Why is it? Because I know that the kids get their Make-A-Wish Foundation when they get cancer and stuff like that, but why is there nothing for adults? Is it? Well, does anyone know?
I don't know, and that's why I decided, and with Kathy, who is another part of the committee on Newcastle Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, we decided that we would start doing this because there was nothing out there. And cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease, and it's life-limiting. So often a lot of the cystic fibrosis patients will get to a certain age, and then their lung function deteriorates at fairly
Katrina, I was told if you get a straw, right, like a straw, what you drink Coca-Cola through or Pepsi or whatever, I was told that's what, and if you breathe through that straw, that's what it's like for cystic fibrosis people. Is that correct?
That is correct. And the problem is that they get a lot of mucus, and they've got to have about 3 hours worth of treatments every day with physio, nebulized solutions, just to try and keep the mucus from collecting in their lungs and making them quite sick. They're in and out of hospital a lot of the time. Even though there's been an improvement in drugs coming onto the scene in the last couple of years, still there is a life-limiting disease unless they go on to be transplanted, and that's what's happening with Cassie. Cassie has got 30% lung function at the moment, and she's been having a workup for a lung transplant at the moment.
Well, now, Katrina, I got told also, as I said earlier, the government's not helping much with you guys. You get no government funding at all.
We don't, because we're a foundation. So we work alongside of Cystic Fibrosis Australia. So the money that we raise, we run the Cystic Fibrosis Ball in Newcastle every year. We're starting to run the biggest teddy bears picnic in the Hunter as in October. This is the first time. And we'll be also doing a walk in Newcastle for cystic fibrosis.
So has there ever been, that's what I was about to say, has there ever been a concert or anything in regards to how they make money for other charities? Has there ever been a concert to make it more aware? Because as I said before, and a lot of my listeners, it's not very well known, which is unfortunate. But
yes.
So today I want to learn more about it. So is it genetic?
It is genetic. Both the mother and father are generally the carriers for a person to get CF. And often families will have not just one child, but if they are both carriers, they will have possibly 2 children they have an increased risk of having more children with CF. And there's quite a few families in the Hunter that have got 2 children with cystic fibrosis. And we're really needing people to come on board and donate and help us so that we can get this up and running. And we're pushing to get Cassie's wish to come true. You know, this is the one thing. She's a lady that's always given to other people. And this is the first thing that she's ever wanted, to have as her major wish. And we're doing everything that we can possibly do to have this for it to come to fruition for her.
Well, Katrina, I put the call out already to Channel 7 and also Sunday Night and Channel 10 and the project already, and also Kyle and Jackie O, all those guys, because we all work together. And so we're going to try and do whatever we can. Now,
that would be fantastic.
Now, as you said, there's no government funding and stuff like that, so we don't really worry about those people. But is it hard doing your job? Like, is it a hard job?
Getting people to donate is hard, and a lot of people don't know what cystic fibrosis is.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so...
and they don't realise it's a limiting lifetime disease. It's awful. They often have to in and out of hospital. They develop diabetes. They have an increased risk of bowel cancer. They have fertility issues. They have, you name it. You know, they're on so many medications a day just so that their gut absorbs.
Well, in Cass's video just before, what we played on air just before, she said she's taking up to 60 pills a day if she can remember to take them. Now,
that's right. That's a lot of tablets.
Oh, like that's more than like what I eat at Hungry Jack's. So,
yeah, it's awful. And they've got to have physio. They've got to have, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with their treatments because often they suffer from depression and anxiety and all sorts of things. So they can't keep full-time employment down. They're often in and out of hospital. So this is why I'm really wanting to push to get things happening for CF with Cystic Fibrosis Australia. Nettie Burke is also working hard at that.
Now, Katrina, if anyone wants to donate, how can they go about doing that? Where can they go to donate and help your cause out there, down there in Newcastle? How can they help out?
What we'll do is I will put a bank account details up on the Facebook page. So it's Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, and we'll put that on I'm sure we can put that on our website as well. So we'll do that later on the Savo at some stage.
Fantastic. And if we've got any businesses that are wanting to come forward and also participate in this for this granting wishes, we're wanting people to come on board. So anything would be fantastic. And
hey, Katrina, what you do and what Kathy does as well. A lot of people on the radio don't know who Kathy is because she's like a silent person in the background who's giving me all the research, and she's like one of my little producers, actually. So she's one of my little producers telling me all about it. I get very upset. Like when I saw Cass's video, which even just before, I had to play a couple of songs because it makes me upset. And
it does.
And I'm a hard man. So it's like, it's really hard to like see that sort of story. And as you said, a lot of people don't know much about it. Now, if you got 2, so I've been also told, see, I've done some research. So if you got one parent who does have it, cystic fibrosis, and the other parent who doesn't, but that male, if it's a male, he can't have children. Is that correct? They have to do IVF.
If he's got CF, yes, often they do have to have IVF, or what they do is extract sperm out from the testes, and that's the way that they are able to have children because it interferes with the ducts of the being able to fertilise. It gets clogged up, so they're not able to do that. So often male CF patients have to go down the IVF route. Yes, that's correct.
Katrina, what you do, as I just said, is an amazing job. And also Kathy, my little behind-the-scenes lady, I know she's listening
she's
right
beautiful.
now.
She's
and
beautiful.
hello to Cass, I know she's listening as well right now. So what would you say to any CF people, like cystic fibrosis people who are listening right now, who feel depressed and feel lonely? Like, what can they do?
Well, they've got a program going in Newcastle at the moment. They're running a mental health to be able to identify those patients with, depression through clinic. But there is headspace and there's a lot of, psychologists out there, and they do need to have follow-up. So
and also in Cass's video, when she says her mum could taste salt on her lips. So what's that about? Like, because there's also a movie out called 5 Feet Apart, which I think I've seen. I've actually got the movie, which I'll watch later tonight. Now, what is this salt thing about? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
It's just that's what the heel prick test is as well, that they test for CF when babies are born. They used to do they would wrap babies up and then do a salt test. That was quite a few years ago, and now they use the heel prick test for babies. So often babies with CF, that's how you would identify a child that was probably a CF baby. That was if they had salty tasting skin.
Right, and Katrina,
they do different methods now of picking up CF.
What is the lifespan? So I saw on Cass's video, it says 37 point something. So what is the actual lifespan of someone?
That is what it is at the moment. Yeah, in the 30s.
Wow.
So going back 20 years, it was teens. Now they've got them into their 30s, but that's often with a lung transplant. And it's very difficult because these children are often born and, knowing that they only had a limited lifespan.
Wow.
But there are new medications out on the market and new trials happening every day here in Australia, in Newcastle, in HMRI. They're running CF trials with new medications, and they're having good results.
Now, Katrina, you're a
really
nurse as
great.
well. Is that correct? Are you a nurse? Yeah. Or
Yes, that is
cool.
correct.
You are a nurse. Now, Katrina, so if anybody wants to help, what we need to try and do is get Cass to go meet Metallica. So they're in October 28th, I think, or 26th or something on one of my screens there. And what we need to do is do a shout out to all the radio stations and all the TV stations. So Channel 7, Channel 10. Especially because they help us out with Cheryl Underwood in the morning. So what we're going to do is send this tape to Cheryl Underwood over in America on the TV show called The Talk. And that's where Metallica's from, I'm guessing. And I'm not guessing, I know where they're from. And
Yep.
We'll just see what we can do. Katrina,
that's fantastic. Thank you, John.
Mate, thank you for coming on the show and explaining to my audience what this is about, because obviously there's not enough awareness about this subject. So thank you so much, and I'll repeat this conversation throughout the afternoon. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much, Katrina, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's Katrina, live here on Variety Digital Radio, Ipswich in the afternoons. News coming up for you in around 3 minutes, running a little bit, 2 minutes over time, but that's all right. I'm the boss. That's what happens. John Griffin in the afternoons. Back with more in just a moment.